Well, a lot of women have that natural urge, and I never felt that natural urge. I just didn't. I've never, ever said to anyone or to myself, I wanted a child. I've never had that back and forth, do I want a child, do I don't want a child? I've never had that urge. It's just not in me. And many women have that, you know. I don't know if that's just something in your genes or your hormones or, you know, a way of life for most people, but for me, I didn't. And I'm not gonna have children for status quo, you know. If I don't want children, why would I have a child then, you know, just to have a legacy or a status quo when I'm not gonna really want it.
My legacy is me, not what my child does. It's whatever I accomplish in life or whatever Danielle accomplishes in life, whatever we do together in life, not what our child does.
My husband and I just moved to Dallas from New York. And a lot of our New York friends were surprised that we were having kids. And they don't want to have kids. They don't want pets. I mean, they just don't want any strings, and they enjoy a much freer lifestyle. The lifestyle that we enjoyed up until 9 months ago.
We have our goals that we want to attain. We like our personal time. We like having time to do what we want to do and lots of projects. And we know that if we had children, that would have to switch gears and everything would be dedicated towards the child, because you have to do that because you're bringing another life into this world. So you have to dedicate all this attention and raise the child the best that you can. And so we figure we're just too selfish.
I always thought that children was something you should inherently, instinctively want. Like deep down in your soul, like you were put on this planet to have kids, and you want one or you want three or there's some number in your head you want. And I can tell you I don't want any. And if I want any, then I figure like it shouldn't be society saying you should do it because that's what we do because you're like 30 and now it's time, or you're about to hit 35, you should really do it now.
Basically, by us not having children, or if we did happen to have a child, waiting so long to have children, like say when I'm 39 having a child, that's 39 years that the planet has one less person to use resources.
We had a very simple, basic discussion about, do we want kids? No, it was pretty much unanimous no. We like our freedom. We like to do anything on a whim because we can. We like to have the ability to go anywhere. If we want to buy new toys, we don't buy them for the kids, we buy them for ourselves. So
I think I've made it known since I was in probably junior high, when babysitting jobs came around. I would do them, but I wasn't completely excited to do them. I mean, I like kids, but I think my mom started to get an idea then that I wasn't, you know, the super maternal person.
For both my sisters, every time I see them or we have a birthday party for one of their kids, it's, and all the other parents that have kids that are at the party, they ask when we're going to have kids and why don't we want to have kids.
It's confusing to them, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's always this same conversation of, well, we don't want kids, and we don't feel like we need to have to justify this or talk to you about why we don't want kids. And then it's always usually the same response, denial, you know, oh, you're going to have kids, you'll have kids, you know, and that's how my parents are. They just, oh, you'll have kids.
My mother came from a family of 13 children in Kentucky. My father came from a family of 8 children in Mexico. And both of my sisters are already grandmothers. You know, they followed this pattern. My brother has 7 kids. So they kind of look at me, you know, like,
why don't you have kids?
Man, what's his deal?
I do get tired of them continually asking me if I want to have kids. I think part of it is just the shock to them that I've decided not to have kids, or we've decided not to have kids. Can't have them by myself.
personally can't imagine not having kids. Like,
Or not wanting kids.
right, yeah. It's hard to even fathom it. And I know that's very one-sided bias. But I can't imagine my whole life. Never once did I not think I wouldn't have kids.
It's the most amazing thing you can experience because you're watching them experience the world for the first time, and it's so cool. So you get to feel the wind again for the first time. You get to taste a flavor again for the first time through your child. And I mean, you're missing that if you don't have kids. And I think it's okay not to have kids, but you're losing out. Seriously.
Not 5 minutes after being back from my honeymoon, it was, so when are you having babies? When are you having babies? From 50, 60, 70 different people. When are you going to have babies? I said, never. They said, oh, you'll. That was like we talked about before. Oh, you'll have them. You'll eventually want them. You're going to want them. They're so much fun. They give you so much reward in life. I see the misery that everybody else goes through. And they might say, oh, well, it's so rewarding after everything's done, everything's said. I don't see it. I'm not convinced. You want to cry for the camera? Can you cry? No? That's right, because you're not a baby. You got a diaper you changing? No. You go outside to poop? Thank you so much. Oh, you got an F on your report card? You didn't? Oh, good girl.
I don't think it's fair to say that you're selfish because you don't want children. It would be selfish of me to have children if I couldn't spend time with them and take care of them. And I think that's another way to look at it. I mean, if I get home at 7 o'clock every night and I see my child for maybe an hour or 2 hours before I put them to bed, what kind of relationship is that?
I kind of knew it would be difficult for me to have children because I had early on started, following this path of trying to be a professional craftsman. I always knew it was going to be hard for me to have a steady income.
I was watching that show and they said that it costs $500,000 to raise a child from up to the age of 18. And that's not even college. That's a lot of money.
I want to be unselfish to my wife. I want her to achieve whatever she wants to do, whether it's her career or if she wants to branch out and do something else. I don't want to hold her back and say, well, you're going to stay home and have kids, and I'll go to work and you can take care of the kids, and that's what you're going to do. And I think that's extremely selfish and the opposite direction of what we're actually doing. We give ourselves the freedom to do what we want, when we want, where we want, how we want, 24/7.
No one's ever said you're not a real family, but they give you the look, and it's that really awkward conversation and it's people that you're acquaintances with, even maybe strangers. It's people that are your friends, your colleagues. It's this weird disappointment. They're disappointed in you for some reason.
Family is really anything that you want it to be. I mean, technically we're a family. She's my wife, I'm the husband. We have kids, technically they're dogs.
Fur babies.
But I mean, that's our family. We have pictures of our dogs. We have pictures of us up. But I mean, I can also stretch it out to put our friends. Our friends are our family.
I just think times are changing, or having kids at least doesn't have to be the number one thing. And I think that was different back when our parents were growing up.
We've lived our life without any regret so far. So hopefully this isn't our decision that I can look back on and say, right now, we're good. And 30 years from now, hey, we're still groovy. It works out. And I hope we can say that.